Hello, my name is Bailey. I am on the affirmative for the resolution that the United States federal government should implement a universal basic income of $1,000 per month for all adult U.S. citizens. My criteria is net benefits, evaluating the cost of the plan versus the opportunity cost of the plan through the lens of a policymaker. My inherency is attitudinal. America is inherently a fiscally conservative country and has a history of being resistant to providing aid to those who need it most. My significant harms are a lack of financial stability for individuals and families. My warrant for this comes from an October 2024 study by the Bank of America Institute, finding that around a quarter of Americans live paycheck to paycheck across low and high income families across different regions. Living, quote, paycheck to paycheck is defined by the institution as a household's necessity spending close to a total household income. The plan, the U.S. federal government should give every adult U.S. citizen a universal basic income of $1,000 a month. My solvency for the plan would be that the plan would allow those in poverty to find a way to get back on their feet easier and would greatly help families of every income level to provide for themselves. My first advantage is basic necessities. For my uniqueness, people simply cannot afford to keep up with their living essentials. My warrant for this is, according to the June 2024 article published by the Brookings Institution website, a non-profit research organization, 43% of all families fall short of meeting basic needs. For getting food, for getting healthcare, and for getting transportation, millions of Americans struggle to pay their rent and or their utilities on the first of the month. My warrant for this statement comes from a 2023 community survey by the U.S. Census Bureau that finds that 22.6 million home renters, aka 50% of the country's tenants, cannot afford their monthly housing costs. My link is a universal basic income is established for all adult U.S. citizens. My internal link is that if everyone is given a foot in the door, everyone will be more likely to pay their utilities and utilize the remainder of their check either for their checkings, maintenance, or commodities. And there is evidence from the states. My warrant comes from a survey conducted by the Harstad Strategic Research Incorporation, made in June 22nd, 2017, and found that 72% of Alaskans use their annual permanent dividend fund on emergencies and reoccurring expenses, like bills. My impact is about reducing poverty. I believe that if Americans were given $1,000 a month, they would at the very least be able to feed themselves, afford their means of transportation, or be capable of putting clothes on their back. At the very most, American students would be able to keep up with their education costs, such as meal plans and textbooks, or homeowners wouldn't have to worry about their electricity or water bills. Providing each American over the age of 18 with a universal basic income of $1,000 a month would not just help everyone in each income level have the financial confidence to get back on their feet, but it would help them thrive in an already challenging economy. My last advantage is consumer confidence. Right now, it's simple. Consumers simply do not have the confidence to consume. My warning for this statement comes from a Reuters article published in November 7th, 2025, saying the consumer sentiment level has fallen to a near 3-year low, mainly due to increasing unemployment and rising inflation. My link, again, is an established UBI for all adult U.S. citizens. My internal link is if everyone is given an extra $1,000 a month, they would be given a significant morale boost to spend and reduce economic anxiety. My warrant comes from a study sponsored by the OpenAI CEO, Sam Altman, done in July of 2024. In an experiment that followed this exact resolution, results had found that participants had spent an average of $310 more than usual each month, while having the ability to pay off debt or support others financially. My impact is about a confident economy, financial security, consistent spending, more money in circulation. These are characteristics of a healthy economy, and whether you are left or right, more money is always a good thing. A universal basic income provides just that for everyone, not only providing limitless opportunities for individuals to grow themselves, but also allowing America as a whole to do the same.
So,
Oh, yeah, it's your process.
so my only question is, this plan is going to cost a lot of money. Obviously, where do you think that money is going to come from?
I believe it's going to come from expenses such as obviously it's going to come from the federal government, but I believe that it is a beneficial investment rather than a cost that is going to hurt more than anything. So yeah.
But it's still, let's say the federal government puts the cost into that's, you know, the taxes and stuff, would that not be hurting the people that it's essentially benefiting at the same time, like the government's like taking away money, but also like, oh, you're here, giving back the money that we just took away from you and all these raised taxes. Is
I
that
mean,
not concerning?
That's exactly how rebates go, though. When people spend all this, I mean, in California, it's the same thing. When people spend all this money on gas, and they get a rebate from the state government that pays them back for their expenses and for how much money they had spent on their gas. It's a rebate. It's something that they get back for putting their hard-earned money into the U.S. economy.
And one more question, do you think that people with billions and millions of dollars, do you think that they need the universal basic income too? Like people like Elon Musk, does he need it?
I believe that everyone deserves a chance to be financially stable, and whether that is a single parent or a single mom raising 2 kids, or if that happens to be someone who owns a mansion. I believe everyone deserves a chance to have a safe and secure financial stability, no matter their income level. Because at any point, at any time, they could lose all of that money. But to be secure enough, they can have that $1,000 each month to feel safe and ensure themselves a decent living.
That's all. I mean, we can like pause the video, but I just wanted to like, cause like I wanna have like a time up here.
Oh yeah.
So you want me to stop the video?
Well, I mean, you don't have to stop. I can just like cut it out. Or
Okay.
Wait, do you still need this, or could I? Because I just want a timer like.
As long as you know what your time, I think you're good.
Yeah, like I'm gonna steal this. Unless you need it.
Yeah, I kind of.
Can I steal your phone?
Yeah.
Give me that phone.
Okay. Damn, Chris, your outfit kind of dripping today.
Oh, well, which one of us?
Both y'all. Type shit.
We share clothes. So.
Yeah? Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, like look at this. Well, actually, these are mine. This shirt's mine. This is his.
Oh, type shit. I don't know, this is mine. It's a Penguin sweater. I actually recently just got this.
It's dope.
I know, it is fucking cool.
So are your Garfield socks too.
Huh?
The Garfield.
Oh yeah, I'm wearing mismatched with Garfield socks. Check these shit out. I hope you're still recording.
Yep.
And these are some Looney Tunes ass socks. Check this shit.
Nice.
Mismatching socks. This is all I can find for it.
How about I just like don't cut this out? And
I hope not. I really hope he sees this. I really hope he does. This is more fun. I don't even hear what anyone says.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Good. Very good.
You here?
Yeah, just.
Should I time you too?
I mean, if you want, like, I'm gonna be timing myself.
I'll show you my. I'll time you all fucking. As your speech is going, you just. I'll just point the the time on you.
And give me more insight. Oh yeah, like for a second I legit forgot what I was doing. I forgot that was supposed to be doing. Alright. What is it? It's still recording, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Wait, can you keep count me down?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
The resolution was the United States federal government should implement a universal basic income of $1,000 per month for all U.S. adult citizens. I will be arguing the negative side. Criteria and net benefits is evaluating the cost of the plan versus the opportunity cost of the plan through the lens of a policy. My first disadvantage is excessive cost. My uniqueness is that currently the economy is not suffering due to a massive increase in unnecessary costs. The U.S. government utilizes their tax revenue by funding benefits of public programs that actually do so. According to the Center on Budget Policy Priorities 2025, fiscal year 2024, the government invested most of its revenue funding Social Security and healthcare programs like Medicare and Medicaid, investing 1.5 trillion and 1.7 trillion, respectively. Essentially, we're already spending enough on programs that provide people with assistance, and there's no reason to put any more funds into it. My link is that the plan passes and the United States federal government implements a basic universal income of $1,000 per month for all U.S. adult citizens. My internal link is that according to the U.S. Census Bureau 2021, the current U.S. adult population is 258.3 million. The UBI is established and the government gives all those individuals $1,000 per month. This would add up to approximately $3.8 trillion annually. This would be too great of a cost for the economy. According to the U.S. Treasury Department fiscal data website, Access 2025, implementing UBI would cost over half of the government's revenue, which was at $523 trillion in fiscal year 2025. This cost would greatly add to our national debt as well, which is an all-time high of $38.43 trillion according to the U.S. Treasury fiscal data website, Access 2025. With this current debt, this additional and unnecessary cost is way more than we can reasonably afford. Significant changes will need to be made in order to avoid this. Therefore, implementing a UBI requires either that we significantly increase our taxes or we replace our existing welfare programs. One of the taxes that would need to be increased would be income and payroll taxes, which are taken out of the paychecks of workers, including minimum wage workers. The other option would either be a consolidation or defunding of existing welfare programs. Impact. Ultimately, a UBI would actually increase poverty rather than decrease it. This is because the high income taxes necessary for its funding that are imposed on minimum wage workers would essentially cancel out the benefits of the UBI. Not only the economy, but a great deal of the American population will suffer as a result of the plan. My second disadvantage is unnecessary diversion of resources. Uniqueness. Currently, the government already provides subsidized benefits that target specific areas of need that are dependent on by countless number of people. Vulnerable individuals such as single parents, the elderly, disabled, and the people below the poverty line have the ability to receive these resources. These programs are mean tested, which means that they only allow for those who really need the benefits to receive them, according to the Institute for Research on Poverty, Access 2025. The idea behind these well-established programs is that essentially we only have a limited number of resources to provide, and those resources should go to the people who actually need them the most, more than the people who don't. Link, the plan passes, the United States federal government implements a universal basic income of $1,000 per month for all U.S. adult citizens. Internal link, a UBI will not solve the problem of poverty and financial instability. It will actually lead people to live in poverty even more. The UBI would actually divert money from those who need it most because it's not directly targeted towards them. As mentioned earlier, the funding of the plan would potentially result in the loss of our existing social benefit programs. This includes programs such as SNAP and Section 8, which help people meet the basic necessity of life, such as food and shelter. Essentially, the UBI is guaranteed to be to everyone is sort of a waste, as there are people who need it and then there's those who don't. Impact. The income and benefits of poor families may be reduced, potentially putting them in a situation of more suffering than they originally were. Rather than helping to eliminate poverty, giving away free money will actually lead people to live in poverty even more. Overall, the UBI will actually produce results opposite to its intent, causing more suffering and harm than good than it seeks to help. The UBI would never fully work as intended, as the disadvantages outweigh the advantages and the drawbacks are just too great. My first refutation is I believe my negative impact of increasing poverty of those in need outweighs my opponent's impact of reducing poverty of the general population. Those already impacted by poverty will experience more loss of benefits than gain. Those who would experience one of the greatest impacts would be those that work in minimum wage jobs who are just trying to support their families. They would receive the back end of it, and as their income taxes would be significantly increased. This increase in the cut of their paycheck is likely to cancel out any positive effects.
Okay, I will be moving on to my cross-outs. Let me get my timer. Alright. Chris, if you had, sorry, If you had $1,000 a month, what would you do with it? If you were given $1,000 a month by the federal government, what would you do with it?
You mean me as I am in my situation right now?
Yes.
That's quite a hard question because I'm not exactly sure what I would do with it, to be honest with you. I will honestly, actually no, I would save it up. I would probably, a lot of people would probably just blow it away. I would probably save it.
That's not true. That's not found to be true. Okay, so if you had saved it, what would you save it for? What would you invest it into?
Probably like, I guess for my retirement fund when I'm older, because it's not like my actual job. You know, let's say I already have. I mean, I don't, but let's say I already have like an actual job that I'm like earning money, and I'm just getting like this extra random money on the side. I would just probably put it away, put it aside.
Alright, I'll be starting my second round. For my second round, I want to start by addressing my opponent's arguments using a linked term and non-unique analysis. Specifically, their very first sentence. Their very first point of contention, and I quote, was, "Currently, the economy is not suffering due to a massive increase of unnecessary costs." This is objectively not true. Tariffs are currently charging American households an average of $1,400 more annually, per the Tax Foundation in December of 2025. In an August 2025 article, the Ludwig Institute for Shared Economic Prosperity measured that about 24.7% of America was functionally unemployed. For nearly all of October, the government was shut down because they didn't want to fund healthcare, only to have over $1 billion cut in federal healthcare spending. My brother in Christ, the economy could not be worse. And you mentioned that, and my opponent mentioned that the resolution would cost $3.8 trillion to American taxpayers. But this $3.8 trillion is a historic investment into America, as literally all citizens benefit from it. How many of us benefit from the invention of bombs that kill kids in Palestine? How many of us benefit from Trump making the entire Oval Office gold? How many of us benefit from millionaires getting annual tax cuts while poor people suffer annually? And while I sympathize with my opponent's point about minimum wage and income taxes, the federal government has no hand in income or payroll taxes, as those are decided by states to help with their infrastructure. Social services would not suffer. In fact, low-income workers would have to rely less on social programs that are restrictive because they would be given a $1,000 flat, regardless of salary, regardless of the item, regardless of any requirements, to pay for their essentials. Quite frankly, I find that it is much easier to plan around in comparison to other services like SNAP or Medicare, which are constantly on the chopping block per state in your country. Secondly, I disagree with my opponent's argument about the, quote, diversion of resources. Many Americans that are on the edge of poverty would either have regained the financial means or motivation, or just straight up not qualify for these social programs. I'd argue with more money in circulation, the qualifications for government assistance could go down to those who need it most, while nobody loses anything, as well as reduce the national debt. In class, this is why I believe you should vote for the affirmative, to truly make America great again.
Let me just get my timer.
Yeah, you were like 5:15 last time.
For my second refutation, I would like to address some claims that my opponent brought up. The main one being their first impact of reducing poverty. In their significant harms, they state that only a quarter of Americans are currently living paycheck to paycheck. The plan is to implement a universal income, which means that 75% of the checks being sent out will be going to people who don't really need them. This leads me back to my disadvantage of the plan's unnecessary distribution of resources to those who do not need them. I think that everyone can admit that there's unfortunately a portion of Americans that experience a lack of financial stability and thus can hardly afford basic necessities. Of course, providing aid to low-income families will greatly benefit them. For struggling individuals, providing them with an opportunity like that can help them to get back on their feet. I'm not denying that at all. On the other hand, giving money to everyone would not necessarily help families of every income level to provide for themselves, as it would only largely benefit around a quarter of the population. Additionally, their impact of reducing poverty is not unique to their roles of implementing the plan, because it's going to occur in the status quo anyways. This is because society already provides many resources with the aim of helping those impoverished with meeting their basic needs. For example, there are already countless examples of resources available to aid the poor here in America. Those without a meal can apply for food stamps, they can go to food banks, they can go to soup kitchens, and as for transportation, many cities provide either free or discounted bus fares for those people struggling to pay for transportation, specifically for the disabled, for the elderly, and for students. And on the topic of students, a portion of college students who are either freshmen or dual enrolled high school students are under the age of 18. This means that they would not qualify for the UBI anyways. If we as a society can continue to move towards the direction of increasing and making these forms of assistance more widespread and more available, then we will be moving upwards in the direction of reducing poverty without the need for an expensive UBI. And additionally, a UBI would only help individuals of an already low income gain financial confidence to get back on their feet. We already have several means tested programs and other community resources in place with the intent of helping these individuals to be able to thrive in a challenging economy. Ultimately, my opponent's link of a plan to enact a UBI of $1,000 a month for every single citizen, every single adult citizen in the United States, this will actually end up causing more poverty in the long run than reducing it, like their impact claims to be. Their impact of reducing poverty is not actually what would occur in the status quo with the implementation of the plan, as poverty would be increased. I believe that I have proved that it is not in the best interest of our society for the United States government to implement the universal basic income. You should consider the negative position for this debate, because with the universal basic income will bring with it a cost which will be burdened by none other than the American taxpayers. Among those taxpayers are low-class working individuals who are none other than just trying to support their families. Thank you for listening.